What's good, YouTube? Haven't uploaded anything in a while, but we just decided to do a profile of Taylor's Elemental Heroes here. So just go ahead and get started here.
Alright, so I run one Stratos for obvious reasons. He can search out a hero, or he can destroy a spell or trap when I have heroes on the field. For the amount of heroes, I can do spells or traps.
Right.
He comes in handy. He should usually always be played. Like if I have emergency call in first hand, that's usually what I search out, or reinforcement in the army. Second is Elemental Hero Voltic. He's good for if you have a field of monsters and some remove heroes from like Miracle Fusions. You can attack directly, and you can special summon some of your heroes. And it's just good for getting like Oceans or Stratos back or something.
Where'd you get the shirt?
He's a light monster. It works. Elemental Hero Woodsman. Good defense. Earth for fusion feed. He can search out Poly, so he really helps. I actually recently decreased Poly to 1, but it still works right.
Yeah.
I run 2 Elemental Hero Neos Alias. He has a good beatdown attack for 1900. He's a light monster, so he feeds the Shining. So I use him a lot, as well with
you'd have to go through
my 2 Prisma. 17 is only 200 lower than 1900. He uses Elemental Hero Terra Firma
yes, he needs
in the extra deck, and I send Ocean or Woodsman from the deck to the graveyard so I can feed the graveyard for Miracle Fusion.
Right.
There's the 3 Oceans that I either use for summoning, using their effects to get back heroes from the graveyard, or using Prisma to feed the graveyard with it.
Right. And he's also just a water for 0.
A great water. So that does the heroes for now. I have 2 effect veilers, so when effects get in the way of monsters that piss me off.
And then there's also lights to feed the Shining.
Exactly. So he comes in handy. Also a tuner, so for synchros that I use.
Yeah, the only monster in here that does not feed something immediately is like Gores, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a dark. So not yet.
Then we have Thunder King Ryo. I currently only have 1. I will probably be using a second one for regionals. But that's just decisions that I need to make. He's great. He's also in 1900. He's a light, so he's kind of the same as Neos Alias, except he has an effect that can come into use, which will negate a summon, and the opponent can't touch the deck. So, well, I can't touch it either, but not that I need to. Gore's Emissary of Darkness.
Badass card.
Very BA card. He comes in handy like if I'm versing Dark Worlds, or sometimes Gladiator Beasts. If they get attacks and I can summon it, but it can get negated a lot. He 2700. Like we were saying, the only reason he can't come into use is because he's a dark monster, so I don't have the Dark Elemental Hero Fusion yet till August.
Right.
King of the Swamp searches out Polymerization, obviously. Water monster, and he's a level 3, which will come in handy for Debris Dragon.
Right.
500 attack. I use Debris Dragon as a wind monster, and as well for synchroing and do level 7 synchro.
Right.
Which here's more feed for him. Snowman Eaters. Great effect. 1900 defense. A lot of people run into that because they might expect it'll be a weak monster. Destroys their monster, and then I can use it as a water material, or even if I need to exceed.
And he's another 1900 point thing.
Yes.
1900 defense.
So pretty high up there. Reese the Ice Mistress kind of comes in the same use as Snowman Eater. It's just different effect. She can't be destroyed by anything with level 4 or higher. I run into that a lot, so people usually wait till they get a level 3 or something with good attack. But she's really good. Tuner, level 2. Comes in handy for Bionic or something. And the last 2 monsters are 2 Yakshas. I recently put them in. Spirits, Fairy, they're water monsters, and 1900 attack, same as Thunder King Ryo or Elemental Hero.
When he's normal summoned or flipped face up, return 1 spell or trap card on the field to the hand.
Yes, so if I have a field of monsters, I can summon him and then send the spell or trap back to their hand and then go for attacks with him, and then he'll go back to the hand. He's great for just keeping there as well. So,
Because he's another 1900 pointer.
so there's all the monsters.
Right. Here's the heroes: the Stratos, Voltage, What's Been to Alias, 2
They're
Prisma,
beautiful.
3 Ocean.
They're very beautiful.
Shane, I have some. I'm trying to get your attention.
Now here is the spells.
I just need one.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
One polymerization.
You recently just dropped it to 1, right?
Yes, there's a second one in the side deck, but that'll just go in whenever I feel I need to. But 1 still works really great. I've never really liked to do that, but it came to that conclusion that I need to. So
Right.
it still works pretty good. We have 3 Miracle Fusions.
Right.
That is probably one of my most reliable cards in this deck for fusing. You know, my graveyard's being fed, I can just Miracle Fuse and go into my heroes. It's great. Also, if I have a 0 on the field, I may have to remove it, but if I have something in the graveyard and 0, remove it.
Alright, sorry Shane, I guess
Destroy
it's
their
another
field,
deck
and
box.
I can get a new hero fusion as well, so it works really well.
Yes.
2 super polymerizations. I switch those back and forth in the side deck with debunks if I'm going against Dark Worlds, but for obvious reasons, Dark Monsters. Otherwise, this comes in handy against a lot of decks like Gladiator Beasts or Ganishkis or
Yeah. Pretty much any deck with an attribute that's not dark.
that I can use and just discard something, which usually I could discard a monster so I could just feed the graveyard again for
wait.
Miracle Fusion.
Shane.
It all works out. Can't be negated. It's just great for
Sorry, it's my
stopping Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning because they can't stop the summon.
Right. Super polymerization cannot be negated for those of you that don't know.
in any way, shape,
And
or
it's in
form.
secret sexy form.
Yes, of course.
Emergency Call, which will be a super or ultra rare soon, I believe.
Yep. Soon.
February 24th. I'm excited for that, so my whole deck can be
player.
hollow besides the Yakshas, but that can change.
Right.
It's a good card. It's just like Reinforcement of the Army. They do the same thing for me.
In your deck, yes.
Yes, they will search out a warrior or an elemental hero, in my case, level 4 or lower. So it helps me get Stratos, or if I need Oceans or Prismas, or if I need like
Pretty much whatever you need at the time.
exactly. Dark Hole.
Why would you run that card?
Why would I run that card? I run that so, you know, they have a full field of monsters, like maybe Glad Beast or 6 Samurai. I have Dark Hole, just destroy it. Just this big old Dark Hole just sucks them in.
Yeah.
Because you do what you want.
I do what I want. Then we have Future Fusion. Feeds the graveyard for Miracle. It gets negated a lot lately. It makes me sad, but it's... Some
Still
people...
feeds the grave, and
is-
if they don't kill it, then you still get the fusion.
Yes, 2 turns later, second standby phase, and it's pretty much just what I explained is what it's for. Monster Reborn. Why would I run that? I need that to
Well, it's,
reborn my monsters.
Especially
wait for a
Stratos, because
second,
he's
I'm
cool
busy.
and activates whenever he's summoned.
Yeah, probably one of my best monsters I do use that with is Stratos, or if I have Synchros in the grave.
up to 3 of
Because Stratos, if I bring him back and I have heroes like a elemental hero Absolute Zero on the field, and they have spells or traps that I'm afraid of, just Monster Reborn, Stratos come back, destroy their spell or trap.
Right.
It all works out.
Stratos is always at least a +1.
And I'm realizing I can not use that with Yaksha because he has to be normal summoner for
Right, Yaksha cannot be special because he's a normal spirit.
Yes.
Or not a normal spirit, but just one of the average spirits you see.
Yes. Then we have Heavy Storm,
You know, good card.
not like Dark Hole basically, just destroy spells and traps.
Right.
That works out too. I run into a lot of spells and traps a lot, but then I also run into Starlight Road. So,
That happens sometimes.
yes.
Hunter, Rumi,
But Super Poly can
Larry,
stop
and
that,
Four coming.
use their wind monster. 2
Marcus.
Mystical Space Typhoons. That's good for a lot of purposes, like if they have maybe 1 or 2 spells or traps.
Right, you know, you might want to activate that first, try and hit their Starlight before you heavy.
Yes. It might go down 2 cards that you might need later on, but still it'd get rid of a Stardust if they did have a Starlight Road.
Right, right.
And for having 21 monsters in the deck, I have Pot of Avarice. I don't get to use it all the time
Right.
because I
Pretty self-explanatory card, though.
yes, I remove from the
But if you do
grave a
draw
lot.
it, then it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Alright, so that's the spells.
That does it for the spells.
Oh God.
And I think we can do the traps and then the extra deck in about 5 minutes.
Yep. Okay, right here we have my favorite attack stopping card, Dimensional Prison. Removes from play the attacking monster. It get past the Stardust. Yeah, I love this card. A lot of people don't run it too often, but I choose it over, like, say,
Right.
Scrap Iron Scarecrow or something.
Right, because it 1-for-1s with the monster, and it also removes it from play, which is why Bottomless is popular.
Exactly. We have Mirror Force. Some people have been telling me to take it out lately, but I don't know what to take it out for. So
I'll probably leave it in for now.
I'm leaving it in for now until I decide if I find anything maybe that can work. Otherwise, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
Most people know what that is.
Sort of an attack stopper.
Yes. We got Paradox Fusion.
Right.
This is great for when I have Elemental Hero Absolute
And
Zero.
just so you know, they actually can Solemn Warning it. Because it does special summon.
Yes. Because he'll come back the next turn. So, or that
Next turn?
second end phase.
Right.
So there are some problems running into that, but usually this doesn't get stopped too often unless like a War Chariot runs into it, which we have problems with solving what that does.
Yeah, we don't know what happens when you Paradox Fusion an Absolute Zero, and then they War Chariot his effect. Does he still come back? We don't know.
2 turns later, yes. So we're trying to figure that out, but
we'll figure it out eventually at regionals.
Paradox Fusion is great for, you know, they summon something or activate a spell or trap and they have a field of monsters. I'm just like, screw you, Paradox Fusion, remove them from play for 2 turns, destroy your monsters. Next, we have Dark
We
Bribe.
have 1 Dark Bribe, negates spells and traps, you know, good stuff.
They get to draw a card, so what?
It happens.
He's not paying attention.
And then we have Solemn Warning. Mostly
that's
everyone
just a
uses
good
it.
card, so
It's a great card. Pay 2,000 life points to negate a summon. A special summon at that. Or an effect that includes a special
Right.
summon. So it negates Paradox Fusion.
right. And then
Last
we got
one's
a Judgment.
the old Solemn Judgment.
Okay. Negates whatever you want, pretty much.
Yes, basically like a Solemn Warning, just has a little bit more steroid power.
Right. At a little bit more cost, too.
Yes.
So got about, I'm going to say 2 minutes-ish for your extra deck.
Okay.
You better hurry the fuck up.
Extra deck. We have a Stardust Dragon. Most people know what that does. Negates.
Right.
I have Starlight Road in the
Because you
side
do
deck.
run Tuner's main deck.
Yes, he comes out a lot.
Yeah.
Then we have
Rose.
Black Rose Dragon.
These are mostly just staples so far,
yeah.
from what I can tell.
Stable.
So we got
Catastrophe, another staple. Bryo, good staple, especially since he's a water, along with Gungnir.
and Gungnir.
Gungnir's using with like Debris and King of the Swamp or Snowman, right?
Yes, same with Black Rose Dragon.
Right.
So those are the synchros that I use.
Yep.
Besides a Trishula. Then we have 3 Absolute Zeros.
Right.
My
'cause
favorite.
He's the main card of your deck.
Yes. Destroys monsters on
Right,
the opponent's
whenever
side
he's
field when he's removed from the field.
so good
That
card,
comes in handy.
good card.
Water monster takes any type of hero.
Shining is used to recover things like that you miracle for.
So if I have 2 heroes removed and he gets sent to the graveyard, I can
You get them back. So.
Yeah, I can send those back.
He's
to my
good
hand.
recovery. That's
Yes.
definitely for sure.
And he gains attack 300 for every remove from play elemental hero.
Right.
Great monster.
Yes, he is.
2 elemental hero great tornadoes. Halves all monsters on your opponent's side of the field when he's summoned.
He's like an instant Gale.
Yes, he's great. When monsters, so Debris Dragon or Stratos can be used with that, or Super Polymerization.
1 Gaia.
One guy, kind of like Great Tornado, except he has 1 monster and he gains that monster's attack. Uses an Earth monster.
Right.
Galaxy Queen and
Then we have Elemental Hero Nova Master.
Right. He's the fire generic. When he destroys your opponent's monster. And then we have Prisma Bait.
Yep. So I select
Terra Firma.
Prisma and select Ocean or Woodsman, Center of the
Send him
Grave.
to the grave, fill up your grave. So, this is Taylor and his Absolute Zero deck.
I call it Absolute Hero.
Absolute Hero to be exact. Alright, well, there you have it, YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe.